Finest fellas, remember the name. Guitars blazing, they rock the scene. Streaming glory, living the dream. Charging up, can't bring us down. In the chaos, we're ruling this town. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts will never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never scoff. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never scoff. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream. In the spotlight, they rise to fame. Finest fellas, remember the name. Guitars blazing, they rock the scene. Streaming glory, living the dream. Charging up, can't bring us down. In the chaos, we're ruling this town. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream on the channel. It's Finest Fellas here. We're doing more painting today. I need to sort my camera out because I have no idea what's going on with that. There we go. Nice! Good to have everyone back. We're going to just be chilling out and carrying on with this charming young man right here. So, yeah, just give me a second to get organized and I will get the music going. And we'll be ready to oogie boogie rock and roll. How you doing, Ryan? Welcome to the stream, bud. First in there. Nice to see you. What you been up to? What you been doing? Bring that over here. Bring that over there. Let's get the music going. Let me know if it's too loud, of course. You're doing good. How about me? I am well. I need to bring that slightly closer if I can. There we go. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, mate. Not too bad at all. I am kind of ready to get going with this. Quite keen to get this finished off. I'm just seeing what I need to do. So first steps, I think, today are going to be cleaning up the black here on the cape. Cleaning up the red on the armor, where we've gone over it in places. I haven't actually decided what to do with his plume yet. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure what color I want to do that. The power sword, the blade will be left till last. I have a pretty good idea what I want to do with that. As for the cape, I also have a pretty good idea what I want to do with the black as well. But we shall see, boys and girls, we shall see. So first step is first, need to get my black. So, pretty sure it's Black Legion. It is Black Legion. That one's finished now, so I do have another Black Legion right over here. But that needs to have a good mixer, and then we'll get going. I did the car boot sale and got £18 off my old stuff. Hell yeah, dude. £18 isn't nothing. What model is that going towards? £18 not bad, mate. Not bad at all. There we go. Get that mixed up. We're going for the same like goal today, guys. We're going to go and see if we can't get 15 likes out of this. We were so close yesterday. One off. I didn't even actually check to see how many views it got. Didn't even check. Okay. Just a little tickle. And let's see. So on the cape, we're just gonna clean this up. Hey, Steven, how we doing, man? Can't remember the name BRB. No worries, bud. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, we're just cleaning the cape up. Got a little bit at the top here. And then I want to do the rim of the cape all black. We have to be very careful not to get over onto the cream color, because it will take an age and a half to then get that layered up again to cover up the black. So nice and slow does it, he says as he goes over onto the cream color. Good job, Finest. Solid effort, mate. How you doing today, Steven? You doing alright, mate? What have you been up to with your Sunday? Aggressor squads. Ah. How much are aggressor squads these days? Those absolute walking tanks. With their, what is it, the rocket launchers on their backs with the, Bolt Storm gauntlets or something they're called, aren't they? Alright, how are we looking? Looking pretty good on the black. Just need to correct the red now, I think. I'm going to use Mephiston red for that. Where has Mephiston gone? I think I put it back over there. Yes, I did. Let's see. It's like £38 for 3 of them. Yikes. I hope they're good. They actually did perform really well in my combat patrol game, because I got some in a combat patrol. Just looking at your pile of shame. I call it a pile of potential, personally. Plenty of potential in that pile of grey, dude. I'm surprised you're not cracking on with those dinos. I thought that'd be like the first thing you would have done. Cracked out the dinos and got them all done up. Okay. Now let's see, where do we need to go with this? On the chest here. Could do up this plate a bit more with another layer of Mephiston. Just to make it a bit more red. It does dry quite dark though. What about the pauldrons? How are we looking on the pauldrons? Yep, we need one on his arm. Just here to clear up that gold bit. Just to smooth out the whole color on his arm. Where else have we messed up? I know there was a few places. Doesn't actually look too bad now that I'm doing it. Oh, here we go. Get off. Right up here. Just to separate the cape from this shield. A little bit in there. And there's some on his elbow. Easily fixed. Go. Alright, any other red that needs to be fixed? There's a little bit on the inside, but we're not too worried about that. You have a pile of potential because I have run out of money to make... Wait, I have no pile of potential because you have run out of money to make a pile of potential. Dude, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm actually gonna, while I've got Mephiston on my palette here, just go over some of these other areas with Mephiston red. Just to make it a bit brighter in places. This is a similar tactic I used when I was doing the other guy. Now that's going to be behind a shield, so that's not so much of an issue. little bit on there. Okay. So now I want to work on finishing the black on the cape. And the way I'm going to do that, I need to find the blue I want. I need Null Oil. First off. I've got some Null Oil here. And I'm thinking Talisar's too light. I'm thinking maybe Ultramarine's blue. And I'm going to mix those both together and put them in the cape. Steven's okay just tanking my time. Oh, you're just taking your time with them. Yeah, that's fair. Ryan saying the gradient with the sword loops looks super cool. I know it's not done yet, but it still looks very cool. Oh, do you mean the red thing? That's actually just mistake paint. It's gonna be a power sword, nice and blue. When we get round to the power sword, my dude, it'll look much better than that, I promise you. I'm gonna be going all out on that blade. It's gonna look really sweet. I hope. I want to give it a proper lightning effect on the blade. Now, whether or not I can actually succeed at that, we'll soon find out, but it won't be today, that's for sure. Okay, let's get some Null Oil in here. Okay, I think this brush has just about had it, to be honest. Where's my squeezy thing? I've got squeezy things. What is that on the floor? Wow. Had a brush on the floor for some reason. No idea what that was there. Okay, and Ultramarine's blue. Don't need a lot of it. We're going to mix this up. So a nice black blue. Maybe just a little bit more Null Oil. Okay, mix that up some more. That's better. A nice black-blue wash. And what I'm going to do with this, guys, is to not let it pull too much. I'm going to put this all over the black. And you'll see why when it dries. Because instead of just having that matte black finish, it'll have a really nice blue tint to it. Alright, this brush is actually done now. Okay, I need a bigger brush than that. I don't necessarily want it pooling anywhere, though. Just nice, thin layer. And when it dries, it will be a bit shiny still, but it's going to have that blue tint to the black. That's exactly what I want. It's something very similar that I did with the chaplain that we painted. And a lot of these steps are going to look really rough at the beginning, guys, but it will all come together. And we will get that amazing finish that we've had with the other characters, because I'm not giving up until we've gotten that finish. No matter how long it takes. So Ryan's done a car boot sale. Steven's sat looking at his pile of potential. What about everyone else? What is everyone else up to on this amazing Sunday? Okay. Just a little bit more at the top here. There we go. Okay, it's starting to pool, so I'm just going to spread out where it's pooling. And leave that to dry for a minute. You're gonna build your Die Avengers. Mate, go for it. Post plenty of pictures when you got them up, bud. Okay, while we're waiting for that blue to finish, I need some people's opinions. The plume on top of the helmet, what do you think we should do with it? What color? Actually, I need to look up with Google what the Sergeant helmet is for Blood Angels, because I have no idea. Let's Google real quick. Yellow. A yellow helmet. Okay. Okay, I can't say I like that very much. Yeah, Blood Angel Sergeants have yellow helmets. That's not happening. I wonder. What can we do instead? What do you think, guys, for the plume? Because I'm kind of lost for it. I've no idea what I want to do with the plume. I'm thinking, though, I'm not sure if it'll come across in the camera, right? But there, you know the housing for it? I might do that gold. But the actual furry bit, I've no idea what we're going to do with. I don't know if you'll be able to see it properly. I know it's still kind of wet, but it's kind of now got a blue tint to the black. I'm not sure how well it comes across in the camera, considering it's still a bit wet. So instead of matte black, it's now got that blue tinge in the light. That's what I was after, so very happy with that. And then I need to dry brush some Dark Reaper onto there, and that'll be the black cape finished, and we can attach the power pack. But that plume, I have no idea. What do you think, Steven? What do you think, Ryan? I'm not keen on yellow helmets, if I'm perfectly honest. I know I'm going to have to do yellow helmets for the Landspeeder crew, that's fine, but for Sergeants, nah. Ryan saying sounds good. Yeah, but what do you think for the plume color, dude? That's what I'm asking, that's the question I'm asking. What do you think about the plume color? You know that headdress bit he's got on his helmet? Because I don't know. Just waiting for the cape to dry. Where's me dry brush? There it is. How about white or brown? White could be cool. I might do white, yeah. It's not a bad shout at all. Okay, I have just noticed, though, that we've missed a bit of the cape. This is a 0. This is a 1. Okay, let's use the 0. We've missed some lining on the cape here. Easy does it. There we go. Okay. Time for some Dark Reaper. Might need to mix that, actually. Not mix that in a while. Alright, we'll do a white headdress for him. I think that'll look really cool. White-ish. As white as we can possibly try and get it, I think. Yeah, once we finish the cape, I can attach the power pack and get the power pack done. That'll be really cool, I think. Okay. Now, I don't need a lot of this, just a little bit of Dark Reaper. Now, is this going to be too big of a brush for this? Yes. I'll have a smaller one. Is that going to be better? Better, yeah. Just get a little bit of moisture in the bristles. Now, I don't need a lot of you. Okay. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hit the raised area of the cape. The edges. Just very lightly, very gently. Trying not to hit the cape that's white. I might need an even smaller dry brush here. Thankfully I have one. It's kind of wrecked, but never mind. It'll serve its purpose. And I just need that little bit on top. There you go. And go back to the slightly bigger one now. I just want a little bit more exaggeration. On that raised bit there. All right, there you go. Lovely. Wash the bristles out best I can. Perfect. Now we can attach the power pack. Bow, bow, bow. Slow work today, guys. Slow work. But it's all gonna come together. Oh, one thing I need to do real quick before we do that. I'm gonna a little dollop of this. Just real quick. just in this bit. You're gonna be sorting out some Pokemon cards. Damn, dude. Have you got any rare ones? Thank God for Vortex mixers. Doesn't seem to want to be going in there very properly, does it? Now, it's not anywhere near as hot in here today as it was yesterday, thankfully. That'll do. I get the message across. Okay. Whoopsies! Don't spill the Dark Reaper. It's the only tub of that I got. And then pop his power pack on thus. There we go. Now we just got to make sure we don't make a mess of the cape. Plenty of bits and bobs to be painting on there, that's for damn sure. So, right, now that we've done the cape, I'm going to work on the power pack for a little while. I'm not sure if this Rakarth flash is any good. It looks like it still is on the palette. Let's get that purity seal done. And we might have to layer this one. But that's fine. I don't mind layering. As evidence to yesterday, after spending like 40 minutes layering up a cape. I think you guys know I don't mind layering a little bit. How's the music volume for everyone? Is it good? Can you guys hear the music? I hope so. Because it's actually really nice and chill music for a Sunday. Okay, I'm going to stop agitating that now and just let that dry. So we've got one purity seal there. We've got one just on the other side of the pack here. Man, that sculpts in really close to the rest of it, doesn't it? Wow. £33 though, that's not bad. Darkside is in here. What's going on, Darkside? Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Bear with me just a moment while I do this delicate bit. We've also got April. What's up, dude? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. How are you both on this wonderful Sunday? As I paint little toy soldiers, is anyone else doing any painting today? Or is it just me? Am I the only one out here painting the Emperor's servants? Yeah, might need a little bit more on my palette for that, though. How are we all doing, guys? Let's make sure we can try and get as many likes as we can on the stream. I am trying to get monetized by YouTube once again, so any help with viewership, likes, subscriptions, that would be much appreciated. Help me! Ta-ta-ta. Woo! Dropping all the stuff today. I'm not going to need much more. It's just a small, little bit more layering I need to do here. Let's chuck some more Rakarth flesh on there. Wash out me brush. Close you up, chuck you away, and add a little bit of water. Lovely. Right. How we doing? What's the angle like? The angle's good. Just keep layering you up, sucker. Because, especially on the back here, it's a bit rough. Little bit rough, guys. It's alright. We like the rough stuff sometimes. Come on, baby. There you go. Get that one at the back as well. Can't miss that. In hindsight, I think I should have done the gold on the Iron Halo before I did that Purity Seal. But never mind. Never mind. Okay, we've got some black cord here. We've got some metallic parts and some gold bits to throw in. Steven saying, sorry, but I'm scum. What makes you scum, bud? I don't understand. Darkside, glad it's cooler today. Just primed some Death Watch kill team and now figuring out how to do black armor. Aw, mate, it's so much cooler today. Death Watch, you say? Interesting. So, what I did with my cape here, and what I did with my chaplain, if you want my advice, I mean, if you don't want my advice, just say, shut up, finest, I don't care, let me paint my miniatures, but I'll give you advice if you want it. Right? What I did... let's see, Something Shorter Studios. That's Eddie. Hello! Morning! How are you? Because you're Eldar, that does not make you scum, my friend. Not in my eyes. If you do the hobby in any stretch of the imagination, whether it be Warhammer, Bolt Action, Star Wars, blah, 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 blah. Nobody is scum that does the hobby, my guy. So, yeah. Darkside. So if you're looking at doing black armor, what I did to get my chaplain, I'm not sure if that's the kind of black you're looking for, but I did start with Abaddon black. No, I'm lying to you. No, I didn't. I started with Black Legion, and I did Black Legion over the whole thing, over the whole guy, and that's what I started with, Black Legion, whole coat of it over the whole thing. And then I used, with some advice from Eddie, actually, funny enough, that he's here. Speak his name and he shall appear. We mixed in, I'm pretty sure it was Abaddon Black and Macragge Blue, like an even mix of the two. And then we just went over it again, over the black. So that it gave it that off black, and in the light, you can see like a blue tinge sometimes to the black armor. And then what we did was, well, what I did is I went over it. I don't think it was Dark Reaper. Actually, it might have been. I highlighted with Dark Reaper. That's how I did my black armor for my chaplain, anyway. Because I wasn't sure what to do with the armor, and then Eddie suggested maybe adding in a bit of blue. And that's exactly what I've done with the cape here. So I started black, and then I did like a mix of a blue wash. So what did I do there? I did Ultramarines blue contrast and non-oil mix. Did the whole cape, and then I went over it with some Dark Reaper. And that's the black bit of the cape there. I quite like it. It's not finished yet. I think I want to exaggerate the lines a bit more, but I'll do that in the highlighting stage. So that's what I've done there so far. But that's how I did my blacks, dude. I'm just gonna chuck the chaplain over there. Stay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't get an alert, mate. That's bizarre. Let's see. Nice chaplain. Thank you. I'm actually very proud of the characters I've done so far from this box. Apart from Chief Librarian Tigerius, This lot of painting I've done are definitely the best I've done. And I think it's because they are characters, you know, I give them a lot more effort. The devil is always listening. Yes, he is. Blue for soft blacks, add red for crushed blacks. What he said. He's the professional, not me. What he said. Alright, what I think I'm going to do next, I'm going to get these black Brady bits done. And then I'm going to jump in and do all the gold. And then, once we've done the gold, I'll then come in and do all the bits that need to be metal, I think is the next steps for us. So, Black Legion, hello! Come with me, and you'll see the Emperor's army. I like that. Might have to look at getting some more paints. Yeah, it could definitely be a crutch. My paint collection I built up over the course of years. Now, obviously, I have replaced paint as I've gone along. And I spent an obscene amount of money that my credit card company was not very happy with. But there is one thing you can never have too much of, and that's paint. You can never have too much paint. In fact, even with all my Citadel paints here, I do have some Army Painter ones. I've got some Vallejo, or however the fuck you pronounce it. I'm just going to call it Vallejo for simplicity's sake. You know, I do have other brands, but I am looking at getting a lot more Army Painter Fanatic paint. Because everyone who's talked to me about it has nothing but nice things to say. And I would really love to get my hands on some of them. I'm not going to go for the full box set on it, though. What I think I'm going to do with the Fanatic line is I've noticed that they sell them in the triads. And depending what project I'm doing, I might get myself a couple of the triads off of Amazon and give them a shot. I think is the best plan for me. But yeah, like brushes, paints, I don't think you can ever have too many. Although, Eddie, actually, funny enough that you're here, we were wondering what to do with the plume on top of this helmet. The consensus seems to be at the moment white for the plume. And I'm bashing my camera out the way. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to be a bumpy ride for you for a minute. I don't want to get this on the cape. Or on the reds. He says, as he gets some on the cape, like an absolute tip. Yeah, so we were thinking about doing white on the plume. What's your opinion? Bum 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 bum. What are you working on, Eddie? What projects have you got going on? Last time you and I talked, you were working on the cities of Sigmar, I believe. Are you working on something new now, or are you still doing the cities of Sigmar? There we go. I know I'm going to have to go over with some Mephiston red in spots here anyway, because I've cocked some bits up, but I'm still trying to be as neat as possible. Just because you make one mistake doesn't mean you just go ham. But I am aware I'm making mistakes, guys. Don't worry, I'll go back and clean it up later. That gets the general idea across, I think. Any more blacks on here? I don't think so. Nope. Alright. Are you leaving the inside of the cape white? Yes. Yes, I am. I haven't done any of the shadowing for it yet, though, bud. I haven't done anything else. It took me like 40 minutes to just get a nice smooth coat. And I used Wraithbone for it. It took me 40 minutes to get a smooth finish on that. I've not done any layer, any shadowing or anything yet. I haven't gotten around to it. All I've done today, actually, is finished off the black part of the cape. I need to tidy up the bottom side still. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I need to tidy up the bottom side and then start working on, like, shadows. I'm thinking of highlighting. I'm trying to think of what a slightly darker version of Wraithbone would be. I'm thinking maybe Screaming Skull. I'm not sure if that's too much of a jump, though. I'm thinking Screaming Skull because it's still lighter than Flayed One Flesh. So I'm thinking Screaming Skull and then Flayed One Flesh and just build darkness that way instead of using washes. White for the plume. Sick! Shifted over to the Hedonites of Slanesh. Got some crew calling my name too, but commissions kick in 2 weeks. Damn. Boy's got commission work. Alright, let's get some gold going. I'll tidy up the reds later, because I've got a feeling I'll make more mistakes. But man, that's really cool, man. Screaming Skull's the next one down. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was saying. I was thinking about using Screaming Skull next. And have the Screaming Skull as like a much wider highlight, if that makes any sense, on the creases. And then on the very tip top of the creases, just to... Or, sorry, in the very depth of the creases, use the Flayed One Flesh. As like, yeah. I don't know. I'll see. I think just holding it and letting natural shadows cast is actually already doing a great job. And I don't necessarily need to exaggerate it too much, because if I just hold the miniature straight down, and if I had my camera facing that way, the natural shadows already do more than enough. Obviously, if I hold it like this, not so much, because you got the bloody studio lamp facing down on it. But I don't know. I'll see. I think it needs a little bit of something, though, because it's a bit plain. Got a pair of shoes by... Got to do a pair of shoes by October and a traditional painting by November. Damn. Better get to work, bud. I should have those Army Painter Metallic set coming Tuesday. Might start collecting Fanatic paints as you can get the 6-piece sets, or just choose 3 as a triad system they have, which suits my OCD. Yeah, whatever works for you, buddy. Whatever works for you, mate. Your Die Avengers get 80 shots. Yep. That's awesome. Thankfully, I'll never be on the receiving end of that. Alright, I'm going to do the Skull Gold. Just an assumption here, considering all the other skulls in this armor are gold. I had to dip out of Chaplin's stream last night, Eddie. How did it end up going? How much progress did he get on the orc? I had a bunch of people from the roleplay server wanting to hang out, so I was over on the roleplay servers. How did his progress go? Okay, upon closer inspection, I need to just get that black out a little bit more. Because I thought that was the base of the skull. It is not. And this is why Finest should wear his glasses. He got a lot more done than he usually does, fair. Ah, fair enough, Eddie, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I hope everything goes well with the competition. I hope he and the community have fun with it. There we go. Just going over the bits I missed, apparently. And where it didn't dry and cover properly. Right up to the base of that skull. There we go. Lovely. I'm just correcting some of the mistakes on the way as I go, guys, because I don't want to sit there and stare at it. Alright, let's get started on the halo. Now, which part of it is actually gold? Is it the whole thing? It's the whole thing. Okay. Because there's 2 rings here on the halo, so I wasn't sure if it was just one of the rings or both of them, but it's the whole thing, which makes my job so much easier. Not that bit. There we go. I'll just have to make sure to shadow this gold properly. It seems to be very watery for some reason. Oh dear. Might need to let that side dry. So how come he's doing purple armor? What's that about on his orc? I did notice that. He was doing purple armor. Is that a specific warband or something? Yeah, not sure why that other side is really wet, but we'll just let it dry for a sec and work on this side and try and be as neat as we possibly can. I do love these metallics, though. These metallics are a lot of fun. Army Painter Fanatic Metals. Really, really good. Okay, now I've got to try and get the inside of this done without hitting that purity seal. Yeah, I figured I'd have to tidy up the red, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Arguably, it would have been easier to do this in sub-assembly, but never mind. We live and we learn, people. It's gonna look really cool when it's done, though. Okay, we missed some of these spikes entirely on this side. Alright, I think we should let that gold dry and do another layer of it because it seems to have gotten a lot of moisture for some reason. He's doing a purple undercoat for the skin, but the armor should be a pink undercoat for the yellow. Oh, okay. He's doing undercoats and stuff at the moment. That's fair enough. It's an interesting technique of doing it. He seems to be trying out some of the really advanced stuff really early on. Unlike me, that's just going for basic ass shit. Yeah, so I think easily by the end of today, we'll have all the base coats done and some shadowing done easily. I'm just going to let that gold dry for a while. Chat to me in the chat, people. How many likes are we on? Whee! Only 2? That doesn't make any sense. We have 5 viewers. Hit that like button, people. Show me some love. Only 2? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Never mind. Yeah, let that go dry for a sec. So if we're going to do white on the plume, I wonder if I shouldn't do it the same color as the cloak, maybe with a bit of wraithbone. Because otherwise, I'll probably use ivory from Vallejo. And then maybe use some apothecary white as a wash over the top, and then highlight over that. That'd be an interesting idea. I'm not sure. I guess it depends how ivory dries, though. Because I know it's an off-white. Strand's here! Hello! Hey, how? I'd say the purple undercoat is the most advanced he's gotten so far, but it piggybacked off our conversation of... Ah, with the nids. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I understand. We're just waiting for paint to dry, Strand. We're working on the backpack, or the power pack. And then once that's done, we'll do the power pack and we'll finish off all the base coats for it. Once we've done that, I'm going to move on to the... Well, we're going to move on to, like, the sheath, because it's, it's an interesting color. It's not really brown. It's like an off purple. Hang on, if I move him out the way for a sec and keep knocking him over. It's like a purple almost. If you guys can see that. It's not really brown, it's more of a purple. And I'm going to do that belt buckle in a silver color. And then just heavily wash it down. And then just bring some edge highlights to it. And use that same purple on the jewel in the middle. And I think I'm going to do the purity seals in the same sort of color here. Look at that purplish color instead of your normal red. Yeah, it's more of a purple than it is a brown. So I'm thinking... If I can reach it. I'm thinking Screamer Pink. For the purity seals. At least as a base coat. And then I'll see how that looks on the purity seals. I'm not sure it'll be the right shade for the sheath, though. I mean, I don't have to do it in that kind of purplish tone. I could just do it in a brown, but I don't want to mix browns in there. So I'll see what the Screamer Pink looks like with the purity seals. I am indeed. I woke up 30 minutes ago. How late did you stay up, dude? For you to wake up at, like, 4:45 is insane. You must have really needed that sleep. You must have really needed it. 2 a.m. Damn, dude, that's a long sleep. Crazy. Make sure we actually get it in the recesses there. Make sure we actually get all of this top bit layered. There is a spike there. $2 a.m., man. That's crazy. Just your body's way of saying, hey, I am sleep deprived. Let me sleep. I did that once, where I slept for like well over 12 hours. Get that spike done there. Underside of that one done. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I got a nice, even coverage of gold. I think we had way too much moisture on our brush on the previous layer, and it's dried really patchy. So I'm just making sure we got a nice, smooth layer before we move on. As well as I'm trying to get to these underneath bits. How about the inside? Inside of the ring needs a little bit of work. Come on. Okay. Got this little bit of the ring here we've missed. Right. And then there's a bit of the purity seal we've missed, where I thought it was actually part of the halo, and it wasn't. Leather brown with a purple wash. Woke up to pee, but then passed out again? Oh, mate. How you feeling after your nice long sleep, though? You feeling any better? Or at least, are you feeling refreshed? I think is the important question. Okay, at least that's that gold bit done. Right, screw the plate metal. Or gunmetal, even. Actually, I've still got some on my palette. Is it still good? Nope. Okay. Stiff neck, but otherwise good. Hell yeah, dude. What are your plans for this evening? Is it any cooler down in England? It's much cooler up here in Scotland today. Compared to yesterday. Yesterday was a bloody sweat lodge. Today, not so bad. Alright, just get these vents done. Nice and carefully. I do not want to be making mistakes on this. You know, I reckon we can get this guy done by the end of the next stream. And then we'll be on to the librarian. Especially if I keep up the progress I've been doing so far. Okay. Might be worth just hitting the back of these vents real quick. Alright, Strand. Gotta love it when the sun's trying to kill you. You live in the middle of a desert, mate. Yeah, you should know what that's like. Just nice and carefully. On the exhausts. It's a shame Chaplin hasn't managed to get his own painting space yet. I reckon he would have done a lot more work had he had his own space. Poor guy. Oh, I'm sure, Eddie, one day. His success is very obvious. He's blown up very quickly on YouTube. So I am sure one day he'll get his own space. Yeah, I'm just being slow and careful today, guys. I'm not trying to rush anything. Lovely. Doesn't help my elbow keeps sticking to everything. What's everyone's opinion on non-metallic metals? Apart from Eddie, because I know he's tried it, has anyone else tried doing non-metallic metal? And if so, what did you think of it? As a technique. How difficult did you find it to pull off, etc.? I myself have not tried it. I am sure I will one of these days, but I haven't done it myself. I know Eddie's done it, though. I'm actually really enjoying how these characters have turned out. I'd say they're my best pieces by far. I think it's the mentality behind it as well, because I know that the other bits are just rank and file troopers, and most people tend to pay more attention to characters anyway. But I don't know. I'd say that these have been very, very interesting to do. I still haven't figured out a painting scheme for the orcs yet. I am undecided. Alright, I did say I was going to do this in silver. Trying to avoid that gold if I can. There we go. See, this part kind of blends into the side of the codpiece here, so I've got to be very careful. Alright, where else can we do metal? Probably for the bolt gun handle here. Not that you can really see this. Okay. Try and get the other side of that handle done as easy as we can. Sleety, hello! How are we doing today? We alright? How is your Sunday going? Okay, that pipe there, there's one on the other side of his face. It's going to be very tricky to get to. And yet somehow I still nailed it. There you go. Round that off instead of being a sharp corner. Any other metalish bits? Not that I can see. I could do some metal for the housing here. I'm not sure yet, though. Blood axes. Nah, I'm good, mate. Super, been a good day for food. Hell yeah. I need to get me some food, actually. Ryan, I'm going to post a picture of the amount of energy cards I have from all the cards I'm sorting out in the Discord. Energy cards? Do you mean your Pokemon stuff? I haven't done Pokemon in God knows how long, mate. I think I was like 10 years old when I stopped doing Pokemon. So I'm well out of date, I'm afraid. Yeah, I might be able to do the housing of the plume there. I might be able to do that metal. What does everyone think? The thing that would look good? I'll try and hold it up to the camera here. So you see where the plume meets the actual part here. Do we think gold or metal? Because I'm not sure. What's everyone's opinion? Eddie's saying gold. Alright, I'll do some gold. Try and smooth that out with my brush, though. Why is this paint so wet? Like it's acting like it's got loads of moisture and it really shouldn't. It's on a dry palette, for God's sake. Right, got to try and get the roof of that as well. Now the trick is getting this other side done. I'm not sure how much of that you're going to be able to see on camera, and I apologize. Lovely. I'll give that another coat in a second when it's dried up a bit. Okay, so if we're going to do the plume white, again, I was thinking like using the ivory Vallejo color. I'm not sure yet though. Or I might go with the wraith bone to match the cape. Is this the ancient or is this the captain? I thought this was the captain. Yeah, captain with relic shield. Yeah, this is the captain. Frankie boy! What's going on, my dude? How are you? Welcome to the stream. How's your Sunday going? Right, I'm going to try the purity seals next. And I'm going to try the Screamer Pink. We're going to chuck it through the vortex. And we're going to see how we do. How many likes are we on so far? We're aiming for 15 today, people. 15! I'm trying to get remonetized on YouTube. So as many likes and subscribes and viewership as we can get would be much appreciated. Alright, that should be enough. And then where's my ship brush? Get a wee scoop of you onto the palette that you guys can't see. And mix some of you up, and let's see how you look. I think it's very subtle against the red. Once I highlight it, it'll be a little bit more obvious, but it's very subtle against the red. You see what I mean? Doing well. Gonna get some coffee real quick. Mate, can you make me some as well, please? Please and thank you. I'd love some fresh coffee right now. There we go. We've got some up top. Okay, now I need to get the roof of that because I covered it in gold. Get the side of it. Well, it's definitely going to need a second coat, but never mind. And get this purity seal best I can. I think there's a lot more purity seals on the shield, though. Yeah, it's just going to need a second coat. Well, since the other coats have already dried, let's get round to them. Just get another layer on top. My phone is going crazy, but I can't check it because it's acting as my camera right now. Yeah, I mean, I've got some ivory from Vallejo I want to try for the plume, Eddie. That's what I want to try for it, the off-white. And what I'll do is then I'll go over it with Apothecary White Contrast, as it's like a grey kind of wash. And then I'll highlight back up with the original color, I think. Nice. So what do we think about that for the sheath? Should we use the same kind of purplish color for the sheath? Because if we look at the picture, it is like a purpley browny kind of color. It's not very brown at all, very. For me, that's more of a purple color. What do we think? Because I'm not sure. While we're thinking about that in the chat, I didn't realize... Actually, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use Dark Reaper. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm going to use black. I didn't realize the leather on the handle for that was black. I'm not sure if it's the same for the sword, but we'll soon find out. No, I think I'll do it in Dark Reaper, because it's going to match the... Or I could maybe do that in the pink as well. Ooh, I could. See what it looks like. Ooh, I like that. Taking some creative license with the color scheme here. Ooh. Very Praetorian Guard. On the picture, it's supposed to be black, but I don't know, I kind of like that. Ooh, I do like that. Ooh, yes. I'm going to do the same for the sword. Now, it is very subtle against red, but that'll change when we highlight it. Why is my phone always spamming when I'm streaming? But when I'm not streaming, nobody messages me a bloody peep. What is... It's fucking TikTok. Yeah, I kind of like that. Eddie's saying a brown scabbard. Nah. I don't know if I want to throw browns in here. Let's see what browns I've got. I don't want it to be too dark, though. That's the thing. What have I got? I need to put some of these paints away. Keep the Rakarth. Which one did I open? Keep that Wraithbone. Don't need that. What about these? Keep that one. Don't need that one. Put some of those away. What have I got for a light brown? I don't know if I want to use a contrast paint on it, though. I wonder about Cygor brown, but that'll be very dark as a contrast. What about... Hmm. I haven't decided. I might come back to the scabbard. I haven't decided on it yet. I wonder. Get off me. We've got... Gothor brown. That's not very dark. That's a lighter brown. I've got Vallejo's leather brown. What's that one? Is that Scrag? No, that's Deathclaw. I've got Deathclaw. That's a much lighter brown. Although that seems more like a highlight color for me. Yeah, that seems more like a highlight. Ah, fuck it. Dumble. Where's Mornfang? Alright, let's start with some Doombolt. The classic tried method. You'd say Gothor. I don't mind trying Gothor. I don't even think that pot is open. So, you know, I don't mind trying it. With a red wash. Oh, I don't know if I've got any red washes. It's Mortarian Grime. Fugian Orange. That one's clearly purple. I've got Carberg Crimson. That's a red wash. Isn't it? I got Carberg Crimson. I think that's the only red wash I got. What's that one? That's Null Oil. Yeah, I think that's the only red one I've got. How are we looking? Oh, I love my Vortex Mixer. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that was never opened either. Woo! Fresh tub of paint. Get some of you on there. Caffeinate and nicotine. Let's do this. Going in with a layer of Gothor Brown. Let's see how this turns out. It's nice and light going on, but then again, so is Mephiston Red, and we know how dark that tends to dry. Oh, Eddie, with the power sword, since he's a character, I'm going to be trying extra hard with the power sword. I'm going to be trying to do, like, lightning crackling throughout the sword. I'm going to attempt to, anyway. There's a few videos I've watched that show off how to do it, and I'm quite tempted to give it a shot myself. I'm not sure how successful I will be, but I am very tempted to give it a try. There we go. Well, that's the first coat down anyway. I need to try and hit the side of it if I can, because you will see the side of this scabbard if you look at it close enough. Get rid of that red edge. There you go. We've also got this one here. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. On his butt. And he's back. Welcome back. Yeah, that's fair, dude. I think you've noticed that how confident I've become in my painting, though. Especially with the last few projects we've done. I don't stress about it as much. I kind of tend to muddle over what colors I want to use more than the actual application. I usually struggle with the color selection more than anything else. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely going to need another layer, but it's fine. Now, how much of that can you see from the back? Not much, to be fair. You can see a little bit of it, though, so let's get a little bit in there. You can see the top, so... I'm not sure how much of this you're going to get on camera, by the way, guys, but I'm going to have to... hold this at a weird angle to be able to try and get this done. So pardon me while I take it out of the camera view for a sec. Really need to get in there. Without worrying about a camera view. There we go. Right. The other part should be ready for a layer now. It's a lot easier to fix a line you made too long than one that's fat here, thin there, wavy here. Yeah, pretty much. Steven, really good to me. Thanks, man. Yes, sir, you have. It's been wild watching so many painters grow so fast lately. I mean, my channel hasn't grown that much, but my skills have, I think. Or at least my confidence in painting has. And once I've finished all these Warhammer projects I've got lined up, I am going to be buying myself each of the starter boxes for Star Wars Legion, and I'm going to be painting through those. Because I cannot bloody wait to paint some Legion. Okay, we're going to have to fix the black there. That's now a nice smooth coat, but that's fine. So I'll correct some of this gold that's dried weird. Just on the brim. Okay, now, does that helmet piece need another layer? I don't think it does. No, it looks okay for now. I can always go back and give it another layer if needs be. Any of the other golds looking rough? Not really. I was going to use that Screamer Pink for the jewel as well, wasn't I? I've just realized there's a part of this scabbard that we've missed entirely. And I might screw it up, people, but here we go. It's gonna need another layer for sure, but that's not so bad, actually. Steven, I'm honestly quite the opposite with my stuff. What do you mean, bud? Opposite with your stuff, how? In what regard? I don't know what you mean. Last time we talked, I ended up building a commando droid list so I can keep an eye out for bundle boxes that'll jumpstart them. None yet. Ah, commando droids. Is that the BX series commando droids? The one with the vibro blades and they... Yeah, those little fuckers. Yeah, those would be cool to paint. I can't wait for that. But yeah, I painted Star Wars Legion in the past, and considering how mediocre my painting skills were at the time, I don't think they turned out that badly. But I can't wait to do a side-by-side comparison from old to new. Alright, I should have had plenty of time to dry. Let's try and get another layer. Correct where we made too much gold there. Why is the gold drying so stodgy for some reason? Like it keeps peeling away. Bizarre. Anywho. Boy! That brown has dried quite nicely, actually. That definitely needs another layer, though. Solid suggestion. Let's get, thank you very much for Eddie in the chat, guys, for the Go Thor brown suggestion. And for those of you who don't know him, the Something Shorter Studios in the chat is Eddie. He's a good lad. He likes to have a good laugh. There you go. Nice layer on there. But there you go. That's how the Go Thor Brown ended up drying. Nice, solid coat of Go Thor Brown. That one is still drying, so ignore that. But that one is done. Lovely jubbly. Oh, fuck off. There's another scabbard. How many holsters do you need, mate? I've just realized he's got another one in there. He's got another one. God damn it. We're not missing purity sealers this time. We're missing scabbards and holsters. Now, I'm just going to be very quiet for a minute while I try and not hit the armor. Come on, baby. You got this. How's the music volume for you guys? Can you actually hear the music? Because it's very quiet for me. Hi, I'm Eddie. Hello. How art thou? Yeah, man. And Eddie, one thing I can't wait to do with some of the Star Wars miniatures specifically is object source lighting with the lightsabers, being able to do like the glow. Like the best example I can give. Did you ever watch the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, the TV series for it? I don't remember if we ever talked about Star Wars, you and me. To be fair, in my burnout over the last month I've had, I've just lost so much information trying to get myself sorted. Let's see. On that note, got bounce. Niece is in town and we're taking the kids bowling, so I gotta get ready. Y'all have a great night. Music volume is cherry. All right, Eddie. No worries, mate. You have a safe journey. You guys enjoy the bowling. Try and let them win at least one round, bud. I'll see you next time. Be safe, mate. And try not to hit the back of this cape. And so far, I have succeeded. We've chatted Star Wars, but I've yet to see Obi-Wan. Okay, really bouncing now. No worries, mate. See you in a bit, bud. Frankie's saying, "Later, Eddie." Frankie's still here. How are you enjoying the stream, my guy? Nice and chill today. We don't have too much going on in the chat, meaning I can concentrate on my work. I hope you're having a good one, though. Alright, now I've got the task of trying to hit the other side of this. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to achieve this. I'm not worried if I hit the gold here, I can always reapply the gold. It's going to be a weird angle for a while I get this scabbard done. Without hitting the cape, ideally. Or the armor. I will keep glancing at the chat every once in a while, guys. Don't you worry. Alright, like I said, I'm not worried if I hit the gold here. I'm just trying to get this scabbard done. How am I going to hit that angle, though? Not a clue. Somehow did it unintentionally. Sick. Okay. Just a notification for the bank. Would you like to see how your spending is this month? No, not particularly. Not in a rush for that. Thank you very much, Monzo. Alright. Now that we got those layers down, how are we looking? Okay, what other base layers do we need to get done? We need to get the plume done. And then I'm almost confident that that's it for base coats. I'm leaving the power sword till last. That'll be the very last thing we do. Yeah. I think he's looking sexy. Let's see. Chilling as well. Got that coffee and a snack. Might just start in on some orcs in a minute. Hell yeah. New orc stuff next week for pre-order. What kind of orc stuff? What kind of orky, funny business is going to be going on? Okay, I'm gonna try the ivory on the plume, and we'll see how it goes. And my ivory is sat all the way over there. Can I get it? Can I get it? Yes, I can. Alright, that definitely needs to go through the mixer for a minute, though. What kind of new orky stuff we looking at, mate? You know, I was very tempted to buy a load of Imperial Guard stuff, but I am just keen to get onto some Star Wars after all this Warhammer. Because, I know I took a month off, so for 7 months out of the 8 that we've had this year, for 7 months, I've been doing nothing but Warhammer. So I'm very keen to get some Star Wars in the go. But before that happens, we need to finish the Armageddon box, we need to finish the Leviathan box, and we'll take it from there. Since none of the other boxes are actually open, I don't think I'll start them just yet. Like, Titus isn't open, Calgar is not open, etc. You know, so I might just leave them alone for a while. And we will see what happens. So we're definitely going to have to layer this ivory again. So if everyone can bear with me while we're doing that, we can layer up this ivory and get this plume going. This is a Vallejo paint. Character, Codex, War Truck, Bikes, Knobs. Frankie saying truck as well. Oh, you said that one. Ah, new orc truck, huh? Interesting. I'll have to take a look at them then. I mean, I'm not going to buy them, but it's always cool to look at new models. How are the sculpts for them? Are they on par with the orc sculpts for the Armageddon box? Because I know I've never collected orcs before. Or had any orc miniatures before. But I'd say the sculpts for the Armageddon orcs are spectacular. I think they look really, really good. A mech. They look really good. Oh, mate. Definitely need to take a look at those then. I will be perfectly honest with everyone, though. If the Republic starter box had come out sooner, I would have ditched all this Warhammer stuff and gone straight to Legion. But the Republic starter box isn't available at the moment. They haven't resculpted it yet. They've done the Empire, the Rebels, the Separatists. They've even launched the Mandalorians. But they haven't done the starter box for the Republic yet. I think they did like 1 round of them and sold out almost immediately. And I'm pretty sure if I tried to order some now, they'd get here for about January. That's how popular the Republic is. For obvious reasons. I need a little bit more moisture on my brush. This seems to be going on a bit. There we go. It's not gliding off the brush like it should. Now it is. See, I find the easiest way to tell if my paints have been watered down enough is, do my paints glide off the brush? Or do I have to apply pressure to get the paint off? If it glides off, it's watered down enough, or maybe too much. If I have to put any real pressure on my brush to get the paint down, it's not moist enough. Now, I'll let that dry and fix up some of the gold if I can. Made a bit of a dog's breakfast of that. The new truck looks awesome, like a hot rod pickup. New bikes look cool. I'll probably get those and Wazdaka. Can't wait to see pictures of them, my dude. Can't wait to see pictures of them. And if anyone does decide to pick them up and get them painted or even just built and primed, I'd love to see pictures in the Discord, guys. Sleety, what Star Wars army are you looking at? I'll collect all of them. I'll get a nice assortment of all of them, but my main one will be the Empire and the Grand Army of the Republic. But I will paint all of them. Nice and tidied up there. Lovely. Alright, we'll let that white dry for a second. It's not really white, it's ivory, but we'll let it dry for a sec. For example, I'll try and get at least one box of each of the Star Wars Legion kit and do at least one paint job of each of the boxes. I will say, though, that when I feel the needs or feel the want to really paint some characters, I'll occasionally buy some Shatterpoint miniatures, because those are beautiful sculpts. How about anyone else? Does anyone else even have an interest in Star Wars Legion? If so, what would be your favorite army? For me, it's definitely the Grand Army of the Republic, because, you know, clones. But my close second is the Empire. For some reason, I just like the Empire. I've got no real reason as to why, but I love stormtroopers, I love the vehicles, their starships. Let's face it, the red sabers are really cool. For the Inquisitors, yeah, they're bad guys, but, you know, I like them. Welcome to the dark side of the Force. Excuse me. Okay. Any other base layers to be done? Anything else? Let's just have a good look at them and see if there's any other base layers to be done. If not, we're moving on to washes. Honest to fuck, go away, phone. I guess we could get started on the shield. Wherever that may be. It was right here. Oh, there it is. Found it. No, how steady on... You're not very steady on there, are you? You got any more of that attack sitting about? I don't believe so. Let's get me snippers. I'm interested in Star Wars Legion, but my 40k backlog is too big to get into anything else right now. Yeah, dude, I feel that. That's why it's probably not going to be for many months until I can get onto Legion. It's going to be a while. I could get started on the shield. The shield is very simple, though. The shield is black and gold. Like, look at that. The shield is very simple. It's black gold with the purity seals. Easy peasy, booby squeezy. So we can get the shield done. We can chuck the shield on them. Yeah, I need more of that blue tack, though. Try and stick this in place. I wonder if I can just hold it with tweezers. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, where's my big brush? That one. Where is my Black Legion? There it is. Yeah, I've still got the Leviathan box to finish, and I haven't even built the Marine half of it, dude. I've still got the Armageddon box to finish, so it'll be some time before I can get on to doing Star Wars Legion, unfortunately. Now, I'm not going to be too careful with this. I'm just going to get the black down where it needs to go. And then we'll get the gold on. Try our best not to get too much of the purity seals, though. Because it might be a bit of a nightmare trying to layer up from that. And then we might try and do the same blue treatment to the shield, so that it's just not raw black. We'll try our best. We'll see what happens with it. Has anyone seen the trailer for Ahsoka Season 2 yet? I have, and I think it looks sick. Can't wait for Ahsoka Season 2. Anyone else looking forward to that? Or the next season of The Mandalorian? I hope they do it justice, though. Because everyone's been waiting a long time for Ahsoka Season 2. That's way too much of my brush. It's going to need a second layer, but I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, there we go. I was about to say, I feel like I'm going to end up dropping this damn thing. And we did. Okay. And I'm just going to go back over this side now. Stuff seems to have dried. The heat from the computer seems to be drying it very quickly. Get it in where it needs to go. And then when that's done, we'll get all the gold on it. Alright, we'll wait for that side to dry. Just gonna hold it for a second while it dries. Close that up in case I spill it. Let's see. Dark side, I've got the Dark Armageddon Box to do. Space Marines half from Indomitus set to do. Only halfway on the Necron side, so plenty to get on with. And the Tomb World Kill Team set and terrain. A load of other Necron characters, so not buying anything for a few years? Yeah, mate, fuck it hell, that's a fair few miniatures, my dude. That's a fair few. God damn. It's gonna keep you busy for a while, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm hoping to get this box and the Leviathan box done by Christmas. That's the goal. Would you believe I've only been painting to this standard since January? Oh, Darkside, you never saw what my painting used to look like, did you? So, Darkside, there's a bit of a story behind it, mate. Up until January of this year, my painting standard was throw paint onto a miniature, I don't give a damn, I just want it done so I can go play games. That's what I'd come up with. That was the standard I used to paint to. Just as a reference. That's all I used to do, bud. And I've got my first ever miniature, my first Space Marine right here. That was my first Space Marine I ever did. It's thick and cakey and gross, covered in Nuln Oil. Yeah. That was my first ever Space Marine. Alright, let's just wait for that to dry. You haven't watched any of the Star Wars shows in a few years, just a little bit of Andor, but you haven't finished it. That's fair enough, dude. You have a Dungeon Master's Mega Box on the way. Nice. Very, very nice. It's great to see how far you've come along. Nice one. Thanks, bud. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of effort, and it takes a lot longer. Like, a single miniature these days takes me about 3 or 4 sessions to get it done properly, but it's worth it. Which is why I'm so keen to get onto the Star Wars stuff. To apply all these skills I've learned. 120 models with 2 dragons. Bloody hell. How many of those do you think you're actually going to paint, though? That's the thing. Let's just give this backside another coat. As it's a bit splotchy in some areas, where the black needs to be. I'm not too worried about the edges of it, because the edges are going to be gold. But the flat bits are black. Now, you're not going to see much of the inside of the shield, thanks to the way he's going to be holding it. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't put the effort in. Now, the reason I'm doing the shield next is because if we can get the shield on him, I can see exactly where I need to start the next stages of highlighting and stuff, and where we really need to put the effort in. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that down and let that dry, and we can sit and chill for a second while that does that thing, and then we'll smash on with it. And we've got about 55 minutes left on the stream. How many likes are we up to, guys? We got the goal of 15. I'm not sure we're going to hit 15 today, but we got close. We were 14 yesterday. On top of you're already unfinished, you'd say about 80 plus. I mean, that's still a decent chunk out of it, though, isn't it, mate? See, I'm surprised you didn't go for the StarCraft kits that have come out recently. Because I definitely thought that was more your what's the word? Your cup of tea, so to speak. I thought that was definitely more your style. Sleety's saying 9. Aw, only 9? Come on, guys. Show me love. Show me the love. Bam, 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 bam. There's a few areas where we need to touch up with the Mephiston red, but it's not an issue. It's not a big deal. That's the size 1. Just gonna get some more of that ivory on the front bit there. There you go. Okay. Right. Come on, shield. We're waiting on you, buddy. It's because I don't know they were out. Yeah, they've been out for a while, dude. They've got the Protoss, the Terrans, the Zerg. There's a couple of boxes of stuff now. It's been out for a while. Like, we're talking a couple of months at least. Yeah, StarCraft. I genuinely thought that would have been your first thing and be like, yo, fellas, guess what? And I'll sit there in the chat with you and I'll be like, what now? What have you done? And you'll be like, oh, I picked up the StarCraft. Whoop, whoop. Because if you picked up the StarCraft, I have to pick up the StarCraft. And paint alongside each other. And then they can sit on my shelf for a few years. It looks like it's on pre-order. Oh, they did have a first wave. Maybe it's pre-order for the second wave, but the first wave definitely launched a little while ago. Like I said, it could just be the second wave of stuff, because I'm not surprised they'd be sold out pretty fast. Okay. Okay, get some gold down. And let's start painting. Now this is going to be weird because I'm using tweezers to hold it. And I've got to try and be as accurate as possible. See, that's why I like my miniature stand so much, because it allows me to steady my hand. Just got to find a nice comfy position for it. I don't know why, but the gold seems to be going on really patchy today. Which usually results me today in having to do many layers of the gold. It didn't do that when I first got the gold, so I'm not entirely sure what's up with it. But it's going on super patchy today. Very interesting. You see that? It's just going on super patchy. Interesting. What's up with that? I mean, I don't mind having to do multiple layers, but it's never really gone on this patchy before. Let's see. Now let's have some fun trying to put light placement on a mostly black mini. So what are you using for your highlights? Which color? Very disappointed in this gold today. I don't know what its problem is. Well, that's gone. Dark gray followed by another gray. That's still the Army Painter one. Yeah, this is the Army Painter one. It's never done this before, so I'm a bit confused as to why today, of all days. I think it's maybe because my room is heated up quite a lot since I started painting, because my PC chucks out a ton of heat. I think it might be heat related. Because metallic paints don't like a lot of heat. So I'm genuinely thinking it's just a heat thing. It has gotten quite hot in this room. Still looks good on camera. At least on camera it looks good. In person it looks very patchy. Just camera magic, I guess, huh? Come on, baby. So for me, I use Dark Reaper most of the time for my black highlight. I don't know why. I just think it works really well for me. Not sure if anyone else has tried using Dark Reaper, though. Obviously, that would be a Citadel color. Trying my best to get a nice solid finish. I think I might have to leave the gold until this room is cooled down a bit, because it is just not cooperating. There we go. Follow the circle. Need to get these inside curved bits done. Bam, 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 bam. What we saying? Oh, wow. Pissed, I ordered 200 paints, a box of 120 AK, and another one with 80 Vallejo in it. Mate, you are not going to be stuck on paints for a while, that's for sure. How much did that set you back? Sounds like a very expensive drunken purchase. Damn, that sounds expensive. I'm just going to keep going over this for a few minutes, guys, trying to get a smooth finish on the gold. I don't like how rough it's turned out. And then we'll tidy up the black later. Kind of looks like a chaplain shield almost, with just black and gold on it. Let's see, too much, but I am a sink. Well, it's a credit card, for it's only used about £8 from now till the 40th millennium. Oh dear. Oh dear. How much is too much though? I'm really curious now. Are we talking like £400 or £500? How much we talking? About £400 or £500. Yep. That's a lot of paint, my guy. Like I said, on the bright side though, at least you're not going to be stuck looking for what paints to use. You're going to have plenty of options. It'll just be Sod's Law though, that the one paint you really want's not going to come in the bundle. Always happens to me when I'm looking for paint. Now I'm just getting the edges of this shield done. Because these parts are raised above the black, and they've got sides to them. Nice 3D print. Unfortunately, the gold is being very difficult for me. Yeah, we might have to just do this shield tomorrow, guys, or I might have to do it off camera, because it is being a butthead. At least the golds are being a butthead. I think it's just gotten too hot in here to do it properly. Yeah, well, at least some base layer have been popped down for it, but I think we'll just have to leave the shield till next time. But yeah, we finished all the base coats today, so we've managed to get all the base coating done in 2 streams. And what I think I'll do tomorrow then, guys, is I'll come back tomorrow, and we will hit the rest of this, now that the base coats are done. We'll finish the shield, then we'll start the shading process, and we'll be able to get some of the highlights done tomorrow as well. And depending on the time we get tomorrow, I might be able to get started on the sword. I think. Steven saying, "Aw." What do you mean, aw? What's that for? It's gotten too hot to work with the metal paints, I'm afraid. They don't like the heat very much. They tend to gloop up and get all soupy, and they go down on the model very patchy. So unfortunately, the heat of it... And right as the stream is ending, indeed, Cobalt, indeed, my friend. But I appreciate you showing up anyway, buddy. But yeah, I'm going to have to end it there, guys, because it's getting too hot for the metal paints. There's not much else I can do this evening. I need to see what the weather's like tomorrow. Hopefully, I can maybe get the golds done off camera before it gets too warm in here to do the rest of it. But I appreciate everyone for hanging out for the last 2 hours and 25 minutes. It's been fun. It's good to be back. Yeah, be back tomorrow around the same time, about 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Until then, bye-bye for now.
In the spotlight, they rise to fame. Finest fellas, remember the name. Guitars blazing, they rock the scene. Streaming glory, living the dream. Charging up, can't bring us down. In the chaos, we're owning this town. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never stop. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream. It's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never scoff. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream. In the spotlight, they rise to fame. Finest fellas, remember the name. Guitars blazing, they rock the scene. Streaming glory, living the dream. Charging up, can't bring us down. In the chaos, we're ruling this town. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never scoff. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream.